Today, I wanted to talk about how I contribute to open source projects. And to demonstrate this, I'm going to contribute to an open source project live on this video. So I've recorded my screen for the entire process, and this is not going to be edited all that much. So hopefully when watching this video, you'll get an idea of how you can contribute to open source. And you can also see that it's not that scary or complicated. Okay, so first let's start with the problem that we are trying to solve. Now I use Excalidraw quite often, which is an application that allows you to create diagrams on the web. So for example, I can go to the Excalidraw website and I'll create a sample diagram here with two boxes and an arrow attached to it. Now there's this cool plugin I found called Excalidraw-Animate, and this is made by a GitHub user named Daishi. Now what this does is that it wraps around the Excalidraw application, allows you to make your drawing like before, but now you can click on the animate button here to get a cool animation. I wanted to actually use this for some of my other videos. Now if your diagram gets too complex, you need to change the order of the animation. For example, if I add another square here and I want this square to appear first. Now, normally animation software has an order that you can specify. And in fact, if we click on this toggle animate panel button here, this seems to have what we want. So we can see it has an order and a duration, which is cool. But the problem here is that the moment I click on anything else, this panel closes. So if I click here, the panel just disappears. So you have to click on an object first and then toggle the animation panel, and also make sure you don't click anywhere else. So because of this, it's difficult to set the order or duration. Cool, so that was the problem. Now, how can we go about fixing it? Well, most open source projects have a link to their GitHub repository. This particular application has a link to its GitHub repo here. Now the first thing I'll do is I'll clone this on my system. Once it's cloned, I can open it in a text editor. And first, let's just explore the structure of the codebase. Okay, so we have a source directory where most of the logic should be. Because I've used Excalidraw, I know that it's based on React. And so I'm guessing that I'll find an Excalidraw component somewhere here. So first, let's look at the package.json file. For any web project, this gives a good idea of how it's built and what dependencies are there. Okay, so as expected, we can see that it does have Excalidraw as a dependency. Let's just take a look around to see where the Excalidraw dependency is being used. This leads us to the main class called app.tsx. Okay, so maybe let's install the dependencies first before we try anything, because I guess we're getting some errors here because nothing's installed. So we'll run npm install and install everything first. Now my main problem is with the animation panel, which was triggered when we clicked on the toggle animate panel button. So now the easiest way to find the relevant code is to just search for this particular text. In most cases, it's very likely that this text will lead me to the component that is used to trigger the animation panel. Okay, so this leads me to a sidebar.trigger component. My guess here is that the panel itself is a sidebar. Okay, so one quick tip. In general, for most UI applications, if you see a button or a paragraph or something which has some text in it, if you want to find the code, try searching for just that text first. Most of the time, it would lead you to the correct component or file. So looks like the npm dependency is finished installing and our errors are gone now. Okay, now to verify the problem and maybe play around with the application, I'll need to run this locally. We can see that the package.json file has a dev command. So let's run npm run dev. Now when the server starts up, we can go see the app locally. Let's go to the local address and check it out. Cool. Okay, so the local application is running now, which is important because if I make some changes, then I'll want to see that it actually works on my machine at least. Okay, now that it's running, maybe I'll play around with the code for the sidebar. Okay, first let's see if there are any properties that make it permanent. Okay, I see a docked property here. I mean, I don't actually know what it does, but from the name, I can kind of guess that maybe it docks the panel. I don't know. So let's try setting docked to true now. Okay, so now when I test it locally, I'm clicking outside the panel and oh yeah, okay. It seems to work. The panel doesn't close now. But okay, does this solve my problem? Let's see. I'll draw two things. Now I can make the order for the first one 1 and the second one as 2. If I add another square, okay, its order is 0. Let's see if the animation works. Cool, it animates the shapes in the order that we mentioned earlier. So I guess that fixed the problem. Okay, so the first takeaway I have from this is that we shouldn't be afraid of the code. Feel free to explore it. This particular example was a pretty small library, but even with larger code bases, a useful trick is just plain old text search. If you want to know what a UI element does, it's very likely that its text is hard-coded somewhere in the code itself. My intuition from my overall experience as a developer was that this might have been a sidebar component. Now, using the docked property was a guess, and once I guessed it, I just ran it locally to see if it actually works. If this didn't work, I probably would have had to experiment some more. Now that the fix is confirmed, I can make a commit here. In this case, I just had to add the single docked equal to true flag. Before committing, we will have to first fork the repository. This creates a copy for myself to use. Then I'll push my changes to my own fork first. Once I do that, I can refresh my fork on GitHub and then click on contribute to open a pull request. I'll add a description here so that the author knows what I'm doing. This should be fine because the fix is a simple single line change. And yeah, once we submit the pull request, the author of this repository should review it and merge it if they feel that it fixes the problem. So yeah, this was the process for fixing. I guess it was a relatively simple issue, but I hope it helps you make your first open source contribution if you haven't already. Oh, by the way, I just checked back a few hours later and the pull request got merged. Now this issue is fixed on the public website as well.